Hello everybody, with the UK reopening this week, I thought why not look back at some of my favourite closed places in the world, my favourite abandoned stadiums. This is a video that I've been meaning to make for a long time, and while I'm in the middle of just getting some things sorted out for April in terms of my channel, some big things that are coming up, so do remember to like and subscribe. Yeah, there's some big things coming up. I thought I'd look back on some of my favourite abandoned stadiums that I've ever visited. And yeah, like I said, I've been meaning to make this video for a while. Since I've been vlogging in Scotland, I have visited numerous abandoned stadiums, from Glasgow to, I think there's one in Fife, as well as Ayrshire and stuff like that. There's a whole host of old abandoned stadiums here in the country that I want to take you through today. So yeah, like I say, please do remember to hit that like button before we get into it, and subscribe if you're new. Look, if you aren't subscribed and you're watching this video, it may not be the first video of mine you've ever seen, but I'm so dedicated to making the best football content possible. And yeah, when things open up again, it won't just be Scotland, but yeah, very shortly I will be going to England as well to make more videos at some of the biggest clubs in the country. So yeah, don't miss out, please subscribe. But yeah, stay to the end of the video, because I will leave a card at the end that you can click on, which will click straight through to my abandoned playlist. I think I've got 7 or 8 videos in there now, from when I've like visited all these different abandoned stadiums and stuff. So yeah, if you want to find out more about each individual abandoned stadium, then there is a full video about them. So yeah, wait till the end, click on that card, it will take you straight through to the playlist, and then you can pick from there which ones you want to watch, or you can just watch them all through. Thank you very much. So first up, Killwinning Rangers. I will obviously include some shots on screen just now of this first abandoned stadium, Killwinning Rangers FC. They now have a newer home, also known as the Buffs, this club, Killwinning. Yeah, they do have a newer home now, but just look at their old ground. They are a junior football club, and they are absolute stalwarts at this level of junior football, having won 2 junior cups, 2 prestigious junior cups, basically the biggest non-league cup competition in Scotland. They have also been runners-up of this competition twice as well. Yeah, they played at this abandoned stadium, Abbey Park, for some 90 years, this club, and like I say, yeah, they are huge. They are very well known in Ayrshire, and yeah, Killwinning, what a great club they are. They do now, like I say, have a more modern stadium, but just look at some of the shots of their old ground, the old dugouts, the rubble on the floor, still got some of the old walls painted in the blue and the white of Killwinning, the actual club themselves. But yeah, just some of the old things that are still there. It's sad to see, actually. It is great from a content perspective, of course, because I like to go and make videos at these places. However, yes, just look at some of the old, there's just old bottles discarded, and yeah, people been in there drinking and stuff like that. It's a shame to see, but also at the same time is a hark back to different times of football. You know, this club, this ground that was there for 90 years, the club has played there for 90 years, and now it just lays abandoned. Amazing to see, but also sad at the same time. Now this is one of my favourites, East Stirlingshire, their old stadium, Furze Park. They finished bottom of the SPFL for like 5 years in a row, and they left their ground, Furze Park. Look at it now, it is in such a state. Out of all the different abandoned stadiums that I've been to, this one here is probably in the worst state out of all of them. There are some that are actually, funnily enough, even though they're abandoned, fairly well kept. They are used for other things. Some of them, one's a car park now. We will get onto that, but yeah, just look at some of the scenes here from East Stirlingshire. And yeah, like I say, they were bottom of the SPFL for 5 years, this club. And how did that happen? How can you finish bottom but not go down? Well, there used to not be any relegation from League 2 into like a non-league level. There is now, and East Stirlingshire now do find themselves in the 5th tier of football, the Lowland League, a non-league level outside of the SPFL, the Scottish Professional Football League. They are no longer in that, but do they deserve to be? I mean, they finished bottom for 5 years. They now no longer even have a home of their own, and they have to share with Falkirk. Falkirk, obviously a much bigger club and an amazing stadium. Actually, they do have some great facilities, East Stirlingshire, even though they're obviously just like sharing with Falkirk. But what does that do to a club's identity? Let me know in the comments below what you think about that. Like, they left their ground where they were for years to now play, to share with one of their big traditional local rivals, Falkirk. But look, nothing in the Falkirk stadium really says this is also shared by East Stirlingshire. So East Stirlingshire fans, what does that do to a club's identity? And one of the most remarkable points about this place, about this stadium that is on screen just now, just look at it, the state of it. Sir Alex Ferguson actually started his managerial career at that ground, at East Stirlingshire. Amazing to think that the best manager in world football history, well, in my opinion anyway, certainly one of the best, and that's coming from a Liverpool fan, so high praise for Fergie. Of course, he deserves it. He's a Sir, he's won Premier Leagues, Champions Leagues. He's won two UEFA competitions with Aberdeen, for God's sake. And yeah, he started his managerial career at that old abandoned ground now that you can even go and visit yourself. So if you want to set foot on the pitch, or what used to be the pitch of where Fergie started his managerial career, then head over to Falkirk and you can do just that. Now, taking you from Stirlingshire and to the capital, Edinburgh. Yes, there is an old abandoned site of an ex-stadium pretty close to the city centre of Scotland's capital, Edinburgh. How amazing is that? You have to go and check it out. If you live in Scotland, the restrictions have been lifted now. You can go, stay local or whatever the rules are. You can probably go and visit it if you're not from too far away. And yes, it used to be the home of ex-cup winners. They had won the cup before. They'd won 2 second division titles. They were huge. And it was St Bernard's. What a famous old club St Bernard's are. And yeah, if you have the chance, you have to go and visit this place. Now, I started this video at the well of St Bernard's. It's called St Bernard's Well. Again, yeah, near the city centre of Edinburgh. All walkable if you want to have a walk around the capital. And the well is quite an important point in the club's history because it's where they were formed. It's where they were founded. And the well itself used to be on the badge of the club. It used to be on the badge, it used to be the emblem of the club. Now, moving on from where they were founded to where they actually played their football, this old place that you see now, it used to be an old gymnasium back in Victoria times, but it was then sold on to the club, who made it into a stadium. It was also known as the Jimmy, and obviously due to the fact that it used to be a gymnasium. And yeah, St Bernard's used to play there, and nowadays it's like a play park for kids, and part of where the old stadium was is now a car park. But yeah, there are a few plaques to prove that it used to be a football stadium that you can go and read, and it will tell you a little bit about the club and the teams that have played there and the prestigious nature of St Bernard's. But yeah, like I said, it's near the city centre of Edinburgh, and you can find their old amphitheatre type ground there, which is obviously now a car park. But yeah, there's old steps that lead down to where it used to be. And one of the reasons of the demise was they had no money after World War II, and also fans, because of the way that the stadium was, it was such an amphitheatre and you could see down into it, fans never used to pay for tickets as well. So yeah, they were financially struggling. The fact that fans didn't pay as well, like, it all just aided the fact that eventually St Bernard's would become no more. And yeah, they're no longer a club today, but they've won the Scottish Cup, they've won 2 second division titles, and probably have more trophies, even though they've not been a club for like probably over half a century now. They've not been a club for, and they have more trophies than most other clubs that you'd recognise today. Not much remains of it now though, sadly, but yes, you can take a trip to Edinburgh and have a look around it if you want to take in the history of this great club. Now, another cool abandoned stadium that I visited, this was during Vlogmas, this was what, like 4 months ago now that I'd have visited. Really cool old stadium in, I think it's Fife, Rosyth. Rosyth FC are a junior club, much like the level of, say, a Killwinning like we've seen earlier, or a Auchinleck Talbot, or a Blantyre Victoria, just to name a few. Yeah, a junior club, so a non-league club who used to play at quite a nice looking stadium. I will include some before and after pics. Again, you can find out more about all of these different stadiums in the specific vids that I have made for them all. But yeah, look at these before and after pics. It used to be such a nice looking stadium, whereas now it is just left in disrepair. However, yeah, you can still see so much of the old ground, such as seats and old crash barriers where people would have stood, and like old bits of rubble from the stand, and even the advertising boards are still there. But nowadays, all that really is there are just like old discarded Buckfast bottles and Iron Brew cans. So yeah, a sad sight to see, but then from my point of view, good for content, but yeah, like awful for the club, who were actually doing really well before COVID all kicked off and all that. Like, they were doing amazingly well, the club. They were doing well in their league. They were looking like they were going to be champions and stuff like that, but then the season got null and voided. So not only in recent years have they been kicked out of their ground for, it was supposed to be a supermarket that was getting built, and no sign of that just yet. Yeah, they were kicked out of their ground over the last few years, and also they were denied the chance of winning the league. Their league was said to be null and voided and stuff like that. So yeah, what a shame for the fans of this club, and a shame for the players as well. Like, they've just been left waiting for like over a year now to be able to play again. Such a shame to see all these clubs just like kind of fade away and wither away. They had been forgotten about so much by the community, by the people that, you know, who would just like nip down on a Saturday or a Sunday afternoon to watch them play. It's so sad to see. But yeah, Rosyth, they now play at a community-run Astro, which has nowhere near the facilities that their old ground did. And yeah, hopefully soon they can get back to playing in a ground that is kind of for their level. And yeah, I wish them all the best. Right, and now on to the last one, the absolute ultimate abandoned abandoned stadium in my eyes. The best one that I've visited, my favourite, and probably everyone else's favourite out there, the one that I've gone on about the most, Cathkin Park in Glasgow. In the south of Glasgow, you can find it right near Hampden Park, and Cathkin Park did used to be called Hampden Park as well. I have made countless Cathkin Park videos from the outside, of course, of Hampden, talking about how it used to be Hampden Park, talking about Third Lanark, the old team that used to play there. Queen's Park used to play there, it used to be their home ground. Cathkin Park has so much history, as does Hampden, as does Glasgow when it comes to football. But yeah, Cathkin Park has so much history that I do recommend that you go back and watch my Cathkin related vids. Let me just reel off some facts about this place while there's some images on screen just now of the stadium themselves. I will tell you, it used to obviously be home, like I mentioned, of Queen's Park. It also used to be home to Third Lanark, who were once Scottish champions. They've done well in cup competitions, but also they were the champions of Scotland. They're now no longer around, sadly. But yeah, it used to be home to them and Queen's Park. It was formerly home to the Scotland national team. It used to be Hampden Park before Hampden moved a number of times. It was the second ever Hampden Park there was. There is now the third, and there was one before it as well, which is right over the road. So much history of football connected to that one place. It has hosted cup finals. It hosted the first ever Old Firm final as well. First ever cup final between Rangers and Celtic. Obviously there won't be one this year. They've been drawn together in the next round of the cup, so there won't be a Rangers and Celtic cup final this year. But yeah, that place that is on screen just now hosted the first ever cup final between Celtic and Rangers. It also hosted the Champions of the World final as well. It was an old competition that is now no longer played, but in 1888, Renton, who won the Scottish Cup, beat West Brom, who won the English FA Cup, and that is a competition that used to be played called the Championship of the World, where the FA Cup winners would play the Scottish Cup winners. And yeah, it was once played there, and West Brom played there as well. And it used to host, like, it used to have like a 50 to 60,000 attendance, I believe, like a capacity even. So yeah, it used to be a huge prominent stadium, one of the most prominent and biggest stadiums in the entirety of Scotland, and thus I guess the UK as well. But yeah, what a stadium it used to be. It used to host, like I say, internationals, Queen's Park, cup finals, but now it lays abandoned. And yeah, please do go back and watch my vids on it. I've covered it in so much more detail than what I have just then. Try to reel off as many quick facts as I could for you about it, but yeah, it really is a tremendous place that you have to learn about if you haven't already. Thank you so much for watching this video. I really do appreciate it. Please do remember to hit that like button and subscribe if you aren't already. We're so close to 20k. We're on our way there. Please be a part of it. Hit that red button. I'd really appreciate it. Please do subscribe. Yeah, and yeah, if I've missed out any abandoned stadiums that you have been to before or you know about, please do let me know in the comments below, and I will try and get there. The country is opening up soon, and there will be no limits on where I can go. So yeah, very soon I will be making some videos in England, like I say. I will also be continuing to make videos in Scotland as well. But yeah, over the next few months, it's going to be exciting. It's going to be exciting times on this channel. I will leave the abandoned playlist somewhere on screen just now, so please do click on that before I leave you to find all of my abandoned videos in that playlist. I'll also leave some other videos on screen for you to watch, and the subscribe button as well. Again, thank you so much for being here with me. I've enjoyed filming this and looking back at some of my abandoned videos. Thanks again, and I'll see you in the next one.